Hey guys, it is Scotch for Dummies Thursday night live.
Did you like my little intro of the bottles
Did
tonight?
you guys see his eye peeking through the bottles?
That's going to be a good show.
Happy freaking Thursday.
Cheers
to you
and
guys.
cheers.
Happy Thursday to
Thursday
you
to
out
everyone
there
watching.
in virtual land.
Traveling this week. Traveled last week, so we missed last Thursday, but it was worth it.
It was
King of
worth
the Hill is back on tonight.
Yes, we still have some fights left to wrap up for the season. So we've got 4 more ex-bourbon fights. We're going to get through one of them tonight, and 3 more blends.
That's the
Gonna get
hope.
one
That's the
tonight.
hope. Right. So we're going to do at least that, be done, and then actually we have 2 more weeks, I think, is really the point, because we need to do 2 things. One is we need to get our patron votes in. So if you're a patron, you're going to get a pick of 2 return bottles to hold back in the King of the Hill series. And then we're also sending out a vote to our subscribers, and we're going to do a poll there for a tally on which one bottle they think should return to the King of the Hill fights. And then we're going to try to knock those out in November-ish timeframe, I think is what we talked about.
Yep.
Because December it's on, right?
December after Thanksgiving, it's on. It's championships, and the champion is revealed basically.
Yep.
It's going to be fun. It's going to come together fast. It'll come up on us like this and be like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a whirlwind.
Yep.
But a lot to do between now and then, of which 2 fights tonight. Excited about that. I want to recap our small travels. We took a quick trip out to the East Coast to see Hurricane Ian finally make its way into New York City. Is a little bit of rain, but actually we went out to visit some patrons. Some of our first patrons on the list, KB and Bob, had a great time. We were able to cross paths with KLG223.
Oh yeah.
It was awesome to meet Kim in person. Shared a couple of drams, had fun.
Good stories.
It was fun to geek out with her on whiskey, and I could tell she enjoyed it too. She just loved to be around people to talk about good old-fashioned whiskey, which was cool.
Yeah, you could tell when people light up when they're talking about whiskey. You can talk about family things, but then whiskey,
it's on.
It's on. A good time. We had a great visit. We drank a lot of great whiskey. We ate way too much food. I know my whole diet's out the window. I got to start over.
Oh man, but it was awesome. What a great experience. Thank you to KB and Bob for hosting and having such great times and sharing the whiskey experience with us. But first, thank you, Tom.
Tommy.
Super chat had to be first to beat DBSG. And speaking of DBSG,
and speaking of D,
we had a nice.
We saw D.
We got to meet.
I had my first New Jersey pork roll. Good experience.
So I mean, it changes when you finally meet, right?
Yeah,
so virtually we've known D now for how many years, D?
Yeah.
But we actually got a chance to see each other in person. It was awesome to meet you and have a couple of appetizers and a drink.
Yeah.
Tom, thank you.
Good times.
So let's do a real quick roll call. I want to call out a couple people right off the bat. I haven't seen them for a while, but boom, Brienne.
Hey, Bree.
And
no kidding.
Sunday Scotch. Good to see you guys on.
Yeah, they're becoming regulars at Starlight, it looks like.
I was just gonna say they had a pretty good weekend themselves, it looked like. So some bottle picks, I guess, barrel picks. But let's scroll to the top and see who's first. Marky Mark.
Wheelhouse
whiskey.
is 9:30.
What's it say? What did he say? Not messing around tonight. Wow, he's doing a show of 18s and cleaning up with Deanston 20. Talking about that Deanston 20
Man.
on the show.
Oh man.
It's he goes light, I tell you.
Bobby J, good to see you. Steven Rogers.
Good to see you. We haven't seen you in a while on the pre or post shows, but
teapot. We had some teapot this weekend.
did.
It's been a while, but it was delicious.
yeah, it's a good dram to have in the glass.
Malt
Hey,
Minion.
Hey, Everwind, and guess what? Another one of the patrons, Bob H, got together last night. Bob was down in Everwind's neck of the woods, and they called me, and they were sitting there going through whiskeys. I'm like,
Imagine
this
that.
out.
Bobby's super social.
Right, this is awesome. Yeah, Bobby is becoming super social. Happy Thursday, Jose.
Yeah, good to see you
Whiskey
again.
Brazil.
Oh, heck yeah.
Hey, I saw you in the Discord, man. You had a bunch of clap symbols, and that's an awesome Highland Park, by the way.
That's a good one.
I think that's Odin.
The Viking ship.
Yeah. But good to see you. Thanks for coming and joining us tonight.
Yeah. Tom, Bree.
There she
There
is.
she is.
There she
There she
is.
is.
Hey,
It was good
Francois.
to see her in person.
And Wiz.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it is flying. There's so many
A lot of
chats
people
right now.
online. Okay.
Well, we got a fight tonight. We got 2 fights. That's why everybody wants to get together and see how this shapes up. very interested to see how things go tonight. We'll just give you a quick brief preview of what we do have in the malt or blended. Let's start blended category is Copper Dog against Naked. All right, so Copper Dog. Let's be realistic.
I've never had Copper Dog.
Expectations here, I don't know.
Very low.
It's readily available. We'll do the tail of the tape here.
You can get Copper Dog
everywhere.
Yeah.
So we had to pick it up. It meets the criteria, and it's
from Craigalackie Hotel in Scotland.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm interested in trying it.
Yeah, it's like a $35 or $40 bottle, I think.
We got those two tonight. What else we have, Mark?
But this is the one that I'm more interested in. So Arran 10 came in and
it knocked out Glenmoe.
It knocked out Glenmoe, which had been holding the belt for quite a while. And I don't think anyone was surprised. If you looked at the comments last week, or 2 weeks ago, everybody was like, man, if Arran 10 doesn't win this, you guys are in trouble. Well, it did.
And I didn't think it was. I thought the other one was
every time, man. But I don't know what to expect from the Deanston 12. It's been a while. I know the last time we had Deanston 12, it was in older packaging. It was in a box and the label was different. Now they've gone to a can, new label and stuff. So I don't know if I assume the juice is the same, but I think Deanston's got a tall order to beat Arran.
It's tough.
We'll see.
Yep.
I'm anxious to see what you guys say in the comments. I love seeing everybody make predictions and see what they think or what they, their feelings on these. But
Jim.
Holy moly! Look at this.
So that's what we need to do. If we want all of you to become patrons, you need to give us your address and we'll come visit you personally.
That's it. Thank you so much, Kim. It was so good to see you.
It was awesome.
Amazing. I wish we had more time with you, but next time.
The next time we're in New York, you're going to show us to some different stomping grounds around the city. And we're going to this. You want to take us to a library, I guess. I didn't know I came off as a big reader, but I'll go to the library with you. What's it called? The Brandy Library?
I think it's the library.
I think we'll make that work.
It's the best whiskey bar in New York City.
That work. Yeah,
yeah, I'll go.
It'll be fine.
Dang, do we have to?
Yeah, that's funny.
But so let's get into this and talk about the tail of the tape.
So you're right. So you mentioned it earlier about these. I don't know. I think so. I picked up Copper Dog at our local watering hole here for like $25. I think that's kind of normal. Yeah, it's not that expensive. Now Naked's also around
$30,
$25 to $30. So they're the same price range. Obviously, Naked is going to be a little different. It technically fits the blend category, but it's very sherry, right? We know this.
And it's blended malt. Well, they're both blended malt. Oh, I didn't realize Copper Dog was. So they're both okay. So they're both blended malt. That's actually nice.
Yeah. So my first experience with Copper Dog.
Oh, you've had it?
Yeah, I've had it. So I would go annually with a group of guys from high school, and I brought Scotch one year. We did a tasting, tried to understand profiles, and one of the guys that typically his key, he does Evan Williams. That's his like go-to whiskey. He'll just do Evan Williams, like do a little shot of that, and then just drink beer, just to kind of keep the buzz going. And he found this in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and so he brought it
the Cape,
and we thought we'd try it. So we had it, and it's a nice whiskey. It's a nice.
What's the stats on it?
So 40% ABV. It is a non-age statement, so it's listed as a space side. Not a whole lot of detail on it. Blended malt Scotch whiskey.
So blended malts.
Blended malt.
40 ABV. Got to be chill filter. There's coloring, all that good stuff. It's a blend.
Unique blend of no fewer than 8 single malt whiskeys, slowly married together in old oak casks. So
if you're going to make assumptions, and if it labels itself as space side, are those 8 different whiskeys all space sides?
Well, it has to be, doesn't it?
It have to be.
If it's a space side whiskey, you can't be from Iowa.
Well, it's a blend. They blended it in Space Side, and where I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
To me, it gets into a little bit of gray labeling.
I would think it's Space Side whiskeys.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. That's
right,
splitting
but for
hairs,
$25-$30, I don't. It's not like I'm holding them to a high standard for it, right? I mean, like you said, it's from the Craigalackie Hotel. I mean,
well, yeah.
You can't go wrong there.
In Scotland.
So we got Naked the Champ, which it's a phenomenal bottle for a blend. It's one of our favorite go-to blends. I will call it the Porter Sunday Evening Scotch. He gave it to us. Thank you for the blended malt. He gave us a sample of this about 2 years ago in a blind. introduced us to us, which we didn't know. It was Naked
Yeah.
Naked Grouse at the time.
Yeah.
I was going to say it has gone through a change.
Yes, and we were
Right.
blown away because he kept ranting and raving about the Scotch
blended
itself,
malt is
and it's like,
great.
amazing. And I'm like,
And
okay,
It is.
it is. It really is. So
Ever
So
since.
now you guys are talking this up so much. This is not going to fair competition.
I
we like it.
it's good. It is what it is. I'll be honest with you. Ever since we got introduced to it, I've said that if you don't have a bottle of this on your bar, you don't have a bar. And because I mean, if it's $30, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, the stats on it: 43%
Oh,
ABV.
ABV.
It is a blended malt, just like that's a blended malt. It's just the only difference here is 3% ABV
Yeah,
difference.
it's
And there might be a slight difference in
There's
the
no sherry
the
there.
maturation.
Yeah.
I will say that this bottle itself, Naked Malt, could have probably went into the sherry category, but
Maybe.
the fact that it's a blend first, I think is why we ended up putting it here. So same price point, very similar. Not much different other than the 3% ABV. Naked Malt has been the king of the hill of the blends for one or two
Not very
fights,
long.
not long.
Not
And I'll be
very
honest with you, I think that was kind of intentional. We didn't want to introduce it at the beginning, so we didn't. We thought it might make a run.
Yeah. So what did it beat?
Compass Box Artisan Blend.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And that held the
well
title
a while,
for like I'm thinking 3. I'm
Yeah,
not exactly
for a
sure.
little while.
So
So
Let's get into this.
Let's get into
tonight,
this.
tonight rule, right? King of the Hill basically is we're doing it blind. Doesn't matter if we know what it is or not. It's the best blend to our profile and our palates tonight.
right now, in this moment,
Try to not to think about sherry or whatever. It's like, what do you find the best? And as far as taste, nose.
most appealing.
Most
So
appealing.
4 rounds,
Do we have a
nose, palate finish, neat nose, palate finish with water. Try to take a sort of a halftime break in there to talk about where we're scoring it. Try to score it like a boxing match. We shall see. We don't know which
Flipping
ones.
a
These have
molly
been
coin.
poured for at least an hour or so. It's been a while. I don't know which one's which. That's why I use the colored glasses, but it doesn't matter.
All right. So heads, we'll do green. Tails, we'll
Heads is
do
green. All
purple.
right.
Okay.
So heads is Molly head.
That's it.
Molly head it is, green. So let's move the bottles over to the side a little bit. We don't know which one's in which glass. Talk to me, Andrew.
Good.
Ding, ding. Let's
So
get ready to
the initial
rumble.
nose, it's sweet. It may be sherry, but it's a real pleasant, tasty nose. A little bit of leather on it. That's a great whiskey. I mean, I would drink that. I just based on the nose on what, because you can tell when you put a whiskey to your nose, you smell it. Yep, that's gonna be good. Generally, now if you don't get a nose, it doesn't mean it's bad. But if it's got a nice, powerful nose,
So what you
generally
getting?
you're gonna be happy with the whiskey.
So honestly, the first nose was pretty just bland. I didn't get a lot out of it. But then
Yeah,
honestly,
opposite?
I said the completely opposite.
you did. But then I went in for a second nose and I got
See,
some
you
sherry.
don't know how to nose. a
So
whiskey.
I went in and it was like, there's not much there. Give it a second, make a little more air, blow a little bit on it. Oh wait, there's some fruit in there. There's something else is going
Figs
on.
and stuff like that. Yeah, it smells pretty sherry.
They're fruity. Get the guy.
It does. There's definitely a sherry note on it. But it's inviting. You want? I'm like literally the old Pavlov dog here. My mouth's watering. But like, oh, I want to take a sip of that.
So is there anything that's sticking out?
No, there's nothing
I haven't
off.
you haven't called anything really.
No,
No, there's nothing off on it.
there's-
That's why.
But there's nothing that jumps out that says wham and punches you in the nose. It's not powerful.
Yeah, I get strawberry marshmallows.
You do?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
keep
so
in
you
mind
do-
they're both at 43. So
Well, one's at 40.
Well,
Couple of
okay.
it. Yeah. So right, they're both
a little bit of
soft.
cherry. Yeah,
There's that fruit note that I was talking about.
I hit the
you
plum.
taste it?
Not yet. You go first.
All right.
So nothing jumps off out of the glass that makes me want to comment more than there's a sherry note. That's all I really get.
Grape.
Grape ape.
Yeah, a little bit. I'll just start off a little bit.
Yeah, I can
A
see
little
grape.
Oxidized on it.
It has a tad of leather, I think, too. Now I'm thinking about what I was smelling.
There's a maltiness in there, and they're both blended malts, so that's not a surprise. I mean, I guess that's kind of a
Mhm.
a gimme comment, but so there is definitely a little bit of an edgy ridge of that Oloroso type sherry.
Yeah.
Um,
So the initial comes out sweet, real sweet fruits, like cherries and plums and things like that. But the thing that I'm a little bit surprised when you let it roll back, the finish is a maltier, more subtle. That sweetness goes away. Gives you a nice, yeah.
I'll tell you what.
That's a nice finish.
So there was a sherry note on the nose. Sure. Yeah. On the palate, it was much more maltiness. That's what I got. There was a little bit of chocolate, but a lot of just malt forward, rich. Stays with you. Long finish.
Yep.
Fun.
I mean, chocolate on the finish.
And the thing is I know both of these bottles are under $35. So whichever that one is, got to have it on the bar.
Yeah. Imagine a slight marshmallow cream on the front with some cherry, and then it rolls back to like a Whopper with a maltiness and a hint of chocolate.
Yeah. Not like Burger King Whopper.
No, I like candy Whoppers. So Brienne's on. I got to talk candy.
So
good point. Good catch, Drew.
So
Damn.
The blue one. I guess we need to add water to that, or are we going to go around again on that?
Are you ready to hit? Are you guys done with this? And you pretty much ready to go?
I would rather go
You
one
wanna go
more.
one more?
Yeah.
We usually go twice.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Let's take it
Well,
around.
I'm in a hurry. It's almost it's 10:30.
Slow down.
Oh, this is subtle. Yeah,
We'll be all right.
have a subtle nose.
Hey, by the way, if you're a member of our YouTube channel right now, which I know some of you are, you'll notice that I added a couple new icons for you to do, and also I think there's some new emojis. So have at it. But you can, if you're not a member, you can sign up by hitting the little button. It's cheap. $1 a month.
I want to see one of these new emojis. Hey, Eric, wait.
Weird. So
Smells like green glass.
So that is on the second sip, it's not as fruity forward, which is interesting. It has a more malty, tame palate. That's weird. I mean,
I love the screen name, Brian with a Y. That's
I
great,
see.
brother.
Okay, I see what's going on now because we can't see it here.
What?
You have to, because so he's posted. That's what.
Someone said two Seans.
No, so these are, we can't see them in StreamYard. But if you look on YouTube, there are faces. I'm gonna pull this up while you guys are chatting.
What are you talking about?
I made some new icons.
So you got to see them in YouTube.
You have to see them in YouTube chat to actually pull them up. But
so what is your view on the palette there? Same as before, or did it change for you too?
I got a lot more creamy.
Yeah, I agree with
but
that.
there's still the malt. I still don't have any more.
No,
there's no sherry forward note like there was in the nose.
And that's where the second sip, I don't get that fruit, that plums and things coming through. Weird. I mean, I just took a sip of it. Maybe it's because what I was drinking before wasn't that.
I made.
Oh, no.
I forgot to tell you guys. I made these.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's our actual cartoon faces.
Great.
Oh, I like that. My ears are too small.
Of course, Tom saw them.
I think my ears are too small in the picture, though. They need to be bigger.
My daughter actually made these for me last year or so. But anyway, there you go. But and in StreamYard, we just say our names.
So,
all right. Well, you see the little. Yeah, okay.
I'm sticking with my initial, review of that first pass. I think it's very approachable. It's enjoyable. There's nothing that's going to jump out and cause you to go, oh my God, and have a whiskey-gasm or anything. But there's a really strong presence of malt forwardness, a long finish, and easy to drink. There's nothing wrong with this glass.
So
I would even say,
I want to open that up.
What you said, even my previous comments with Whopper, but now almost a hint of bitter coffee too with that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
It's a good. Obviously, we know what this is. I mean, I'm trying to ignore that, but for what that is in a blend category, it's hitting all my flags of good stuff.
Okay. So because that changed so much, I'm kind of blowing in this glass to try and let it air off a little bit faster.
So obviously I started a whole topic with the Burger
Whoppers.
King Whoppers. It was just a joke. You guys are doing.
I think I've had a peated whiskey before. It reminded me of like a grilled burger or something. I've had it before.
So this is line on the nose. Again, I don't know why I'm getting grape in all these. Something about my nose. When you open those up, you get a light fruited note.
You do get some
no
weird
maltiness on the
things
nose,
sometimes.
no
in some of
salt,
these
no
scotches.
brine.
Ooh,
no
there's
peat.
definitely a weird nose.
I don't think it's weird, but
No, well, weird. Not what I expected
bad
in this
weird.
category. It's
Okay.
completely different from that. It's not off-putting, but it caught me off guard. How's that?
okay.
Because it's not as malt forward as I expect it to be.
And I think Eric Wade has it. The first one smelled like green glass. This one smells like blue glass. It does.
Eric's so witty.
It smells blue.
You know what? He's a damn genius. He's right.
You're a genius.
He's a Scotch to color ratio sommelier.
Yeah. See, the funny thing there's some history with Eric. I met Eric years ago in San Francisco, and like we met and like we didn't know each other's last name. I mean, it was really it was a bit sketch, but he trusted me, and we met and we had a great time.
So I get a little bit of a green grass note when I get really down in there, and if I go past that and really get after it, there's a bit of a sourness in it on the nose.
Do you like it?
That's the alcohol. No.
I don't dislike it, but it's not inviting me.
You didn't draw you in like the other one.
Exactly. I'm not going, wow, I just can't wait to taste this.
So-
I would rather just sniff it for a longer period because I haven't figured it out yet.
Oh yeah, okay.
To me, this smells like what if you said, "Hey, here's a blend, go and smell it." This to me smells like what I would typically smell in a blend. The
But it's a
first
blended
one,
malt though.
I know, but the first
Okay.
one is more grain. But in that realm, this is hitting that realm where this is kind of a standout, more sherry maltiness that I would not like. You poured this to me, I'd be like, "That's a blend."
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. I want to taste this. See
What else? Yeah.
See how it comes out. See how it comes out.
I want to taste it now because I haven't figured the nose out. I'm starting to get more intrigued because it's just.
There's a little bit of buttered toast on the nose. A little bit of that going on.
Yeah, that's
grainy.
Is it coming around?
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not. It's just they're two different
Styles.
This is going to come down to what is your favorite blend here, and make sure you think about all that and not be swayed by your.
Okay, so
profile.
it's taming down. It's settling down. If I'm being honest, the first nose to the second nose. Now that I've got the second nose behind me, I can say the first nose felt like it was a blend that wasn't put together so well. They weren't jiving. It was like there was these different notes that weren't playing well together. Now it's gone around. It's been opened up. It's getting moved around in the glass. Some oxygen's getting on it. Now they seem to at least go together a little bit. They're not disjointed. I think that was my problem. The initial nose, there was some disjointness, and I was jumping from note to note to note as opposed to this beautiful, dance that I want. You taste it?
I did, and the initial palate reminded me strikingly of the green glass. Now,
Really?
oh,
Like
I
malty?
mean, the sweeter sherry kind of profile, but this, I'd say the blue glass, then it doesn't finish as well. It has the sweetness carries farther through the palate, but then it doesn't have the maltiness on the
It's
end.
not cutting it. It's not cutting it.
Oh,
It's not cutting it. To me,
Uh-oh.
damn, the palate came off like the first nose.
that one like
Disjointed.
That one like a 10-7.
I
Whoa.
think he just tripped, and I'm not gonna say he got knocked down, but maybe he slipped down. Like, whoa, hang on a second, we need to count this guy for a second.
I don't know, man.
Let's come back around. I'm gonna reserve judgment here.
That's pretty good, you guys.
I know it is. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
That reminds me a lot of Monkey Shoulder.
Oh, well, I mean, they're all
Very
blended malts.
similar.
Man, have you been drinking?
Very similar.
Yes, but that's kind of the point of tonight.
Wow. Okay, I want to say, going into this, I had low expectations of one of these bottles, and so far, I'm pretty sure I know what it
See,
is.
this is
pretty
holding its sweetness, but
I got the
I
water.
don't know which is better.
I like your little dance emoji, Tom.
Where's the
I did
I
call
really
Stanley.
like That's
Yeah, that's
this
I
is a
don't know,
tougher
boys.
fight. This is a tougher fight than I thought.
so. Do you align that they start out very similar in palate? That first sip.
I would say a sweet malt, yes, in that regard, but they're pretty different.
the palate or the finish on the green is much different than the initial palate.
Well, there's no
It's
cherry,
transitional.
there's no chocolate, there's no cream.
Yeah.
Maybe a hint of cream in the other one.
All right, so we've gone. Have you gone your second one?
No.
We're going to do a halftime judge here.
Jeez.
We're going to give a scorecard at the half. So TV timeout, right? Everybody do that. Let him get his last drink. I don't want to influence this.
So Eric, I needed. Is that north of the city or south? I don't remember. I don't know the geography of the Bay Area.
Okay.
So I thought
Okay.
you moved north of the city, but
All right.
The second sip is not quite as good as the first,
Uh-oh.
but
What?
it's
The
still
fall
good.
from grace.
I think honestly, water's going to hurt this one a lot.
oh, it might be gentle with both.
So
of them.
talk to me on your card.
Me?
All right.
Oh,
You got I'll
And
let
so-
that sit on your palate for a second.
Ooh, I have to say they both. Oh man, it's close. So the one
Really?
thing I will say is the green glass has an advantage in the finish. It's got a longer finish. It's got I like the way it transitions from a sweet whiskey to kind of a more of a malty, smooth or creamy flavor finish. So I'm going to go with the green, but it's like, I don't know, 9. I mean, it's close. So I'd say it's a push on nose and a win for green.
ex-bourbon
on
boys,
finish.
ex-bourbon.
No, these are these are
Oh
blends.
no,
These are blends.
blends. Sorry,
Yes.
Yeah, so this is preference on a blend.
thank you.
There's not really any
Doesn't
expectations.
matter, you're right.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm going on the nose neat 10-8 green. I thought it was that blue was disjointed, especially in the first pass. Maybe came back around the second pass. 10-7 on the palate finish.
Wow,
green, because
Really?
I think it was
He
disjointed.
hates the blue.
It slipped and it just. I'm not saying it got knocked down, but it hit the canvas. Whether it was slipped on some sweat on the canvas, something. There was definitely it needed to be. It honestly didn't really care for the finish either, but it just didn't feel like it was put together well.
He's off. Isn't he?
No,
Yeah, okay.
I'm just telling you what I got.
Yeah, so Mark's wrong again. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
he's off
typical.
tonight.
But okay, go ahead.
I'm actually excited with Andrew on this one. I still prefer green
Yeah.
slightly over blue. My cards are closer to 10-9, 10-9
Okay.
because I feel like they're, and that's only because
Man, I really
my
want to try this.
personal
I wanna try this
preference.
water.
But I honestly, blue was better than I thought it was going to be against green. I
So
thought
how much water did you add? Just like a
the same amount each one.
Well,
So
like
about
right now,
half
Green is Clubber Lang, man. It is beating the crap out of blue.
No,
dude,
it's
you
not.
are on it.
It's not. They're toe to toe. They're pretty good. It's
What have you been drinking?
they're
Have you been
different
drinking?
styles.
I've been drinking all night.
They're different styles. I mean, there's a sherry
See,
influence and
that's
one's
got
not.
all sorts
So
of rich leather
there's
coming
that.
through the nose again. Yeah, so
I will
are
say
we
blue
nosing
has
these
is a
around?
good blend.
or do we nose and taste?
Well, we
Just
always
go.
screw that up. We
Just
always
go ahead
nose
and
and
take- go ahead
taste.
Just
Hey,
nose and taste it.
Go and nose it because that's got all the leather back into it. The green has the leather coming back.
See,
into
that's
it.
his wheelhouse. So
Leather.
that's the problem.
I know.
But in the
There's
blend,
a creamy note on top of it.
but specifically think blends. Like, what is the best blend?
Well,
like,
Well, as far as blends,
what is a blend?
it's,
What
it's
is your-
married together very well. This whatever's in this glass works. They blended 2, 3, 4, 10. I don't know because it goes together so
so
damn
you
well.
said
This
something
is sweet
that's
cherry.
telling in that it's disjointed. So that's kind of your
That is?
point.
No,
No,
that's
no, he
not.
was saying the other
yeah,
one was.
exactly. So in this, I can't tell it's a blend. It doesn't jump out to me and say it's a blend. It just whatever's
So
in that
in your
glass
mind, that
goes-
means it's a good blend.
This
goes
doesn't
very
either.
well.
I don't think the blue does either on the nose. It's not as sweet and not as leathery and that kind of thing, but it's still, the blue is sweet. It's fruity. It just doesn't have that leather layer.
I think water helped it.
I would agree. Well, it's not bad for sure. Did you taste it?
The green.
Oh, I didn't even taste the green.
Man, so there's some leatheriness on that. Yeah.
So, gosh dang it, there's enough. All right, so I'm not going to say it. I like it better with water, but there's still,
But you're not there yet.
it's still not getting me there.
Blue's-
There's still a little bit
Blue's
of
struggling.
that it's almost like a little bit of an off grape note.
Yeah.
That I get on
I
blue.
can see that. So that green, the palate is good with water. So it really brought up the flavors and the leathers and the overall palate. It's really tasty.
I'm gonna tell you that
tasty
that
whiskey.
blue purple is it's hanging in there though. Like the water didn't hurt it. I thought it would.
When
The nose is not great.
I'm going
honestly,
for second drink.
But the palate, super honey, super creamy. It tastes ex-bourbon, if you will, more oaky. There's a hint of caramel, a little hint of toffee in there. I mean, it's done pretty well.
That green's got such a long finish. I have to rinse.
Oh, I see.
I mean, that
blue is tasty.
Honestly, I think they're both. I think they're both done really well. I don't agree. I don't agree with they're disjointed. I think they're actually.
What's $95 in Iowa?
Is that the naked?
If either one of these are $95 in Iowa, remind me never to buy whiskey in Iowa.
You gotta try that blue.
This is tough.
So the blue is a richer, sweeter, or I'd say rich. It's not richer.
There's a soft flower
It's a
note.
sweeter, maybe floral, but it doesn't have kind of that leathery sherry influence. But it doesn't. It's not wrong. It's not bad. It just has a sweeter, fruitier, plum, cherry kind of palate all the way through, and that's what it's put together. And it continues that through the finish. It's a little bit short on the finish, but if you like a sherried whiskey, you like green. If you like a sweeter, fruitier, space side kind of thing, then you're gonna like.
So what's your rating?
The blue. I got to go first, man.
He's calling timeout. I don't know why he wants timeout. He's not ready.
What do you want?
I'm trying to give blue a chance.
So this green is starting to turn like.
All right, I'm ready.
Oh,
so go finish your thought.
All right, go.
You finish your thing. You're basically we're judging.
So the green was it's starting to get. It's losing its sweet. It's getting kind of.
Is it
acrid, for lack of a better word? Yeah,
I don't think so.
The nose is.
Well, it's kind of unfair. I mean, the blue nose has a lot more potency than the green nose, but the palate.
What? That's not what he was saying earlier.
I don't think so. So go on.
All right. So
Judge
what do you got to choose? Because I'm not ready to go yet.
All right. So I think it's pretty. I'll go first because I think everybody knows what I'm going to say. So green, blue. On the first half, I gave green on the nose neat 10.8, on the palate finish 10.7. So with water, I'm going to give green 10.9, 10.9. I thought water actually helped blue. I didn't think I withdrew at halftime saying I think blue's going to get hurt with water, but I thought it actually helped it and brought it up. But it still didn't make me enjoy it more than the green glass. I still think there's a little bit of things that I just can't get past in the blue glass. The blue glass that doesn't fit well with me.
What
if I'm gonna compare it? So like you want to use a sherry note on green, on blue, I get a green grape that's not quite ripe. It's not quite ready to eat. That's what I'm getting on blue.
I'm gonna go next.
Okay, go.
So I want you to be last.
No, you sound big.
All right. So he's been picked blue. He's got it right. All right. It makes it easy and fun.
Man.
This was honestly, this was a lot harder than I thought.
Ooh, that was an easy one.
No, I disagree with you. You and I agree a lot of times. This one I'm going to disagree with you. I think you're not giving green enough attention. I think it's better than you think it is.
Green's one I picked.
I mean,
blue.
Sorry. Maybe I'm not ready. I'm going back.
All right, I'll
this
go.
Is tough.
Because I'm going to go opposite of Mark here. Because I think the green it tastes like a sherry whiskey, but that's it. And it's kind of thin with water. It's kind of thin and kind of fades out. Whereas the blue glass tastes like one of those great SMWS. We had this weekend, the bright pink purple glass. It's a sherried whiskey that is sweet and fruity, but doesn't have any of the the Oloroso sherry finish or any other kind of thing. But it's a really great whiskey because it's light and fruity and tasty. And I think the blue glass does a better job of representing that flavor profile than the green glass does in the sherry category. So that's where I'm going this time. Normally, those sweet and fruities are not my flavor profile, but the blue glass is a better representation of a of a space side style of whiskey than that does. So
Okay. So you're going blue?
yep, I'm going blue.
All right. Well, there you go. Split decision.
It's yours,
Drew.
man.
Come on down.
That's not what I wanted.
Flip the glass.
I think they're honestly, I do think they're both done well. I feel like blue is that honeycomb
Yep.
bourbon oaky flavor blend, if you will, and the green is, I don't know why I'm saying this, but the acai bowl type of fruitiness and kind of has a little bit of more coconut and some other things going on that you may just pull out.
Yeah, I can see
So
that.
it's just they're different.
Flip a
I
coin.
feel like they're both done well. I don't know that they're disjointed at all. I think they did well with neat and with water, which was surprising. It really comes down to your palate, what you're looking for.
Yep. Come on, man.
I like them both, but I have to go green because my palate
That's
profile that is hitting home for me. Although I will say I really flipped a coin on this one a little bit. I really did.
All right.
I want to put this out there. Come back to it in a month, and I'll pour one of these bottles blind to these guys and see what they have to say.
We just did it blind.
I know. In a month, I'll ask you again.
Well, they've opened up. All right. So which is which?
Let me pull up the camera and
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh yeah.
So the green glass has a yellow dot.
The blue glass has a green dot.
So Copper Dog. I'm pretty sure we know what the answer is here, but
Yellow is green glass.
Yep.
Man,
So I'll tell you what. You can take the Copper Dog home.
I will. That's
That
good.
is-
That's
honestly,
a good can of
the
whiskey.
Copper Dog did not disappoint me.
It did not leave me like I need a bottle.
I know you
on my
didn't
bar.
like it, but
And
I'm
I
gonna tell you
what,
right now. I'm gonna pour. I want to do a blind. I'm gonna top your blind. I want to pour this against Monkey Shoulder. I think you're gonna have a hard time.
Let's do it. That's a video.
That's probably true.
I
Yes.
really do. I think Copper Dog is actually, and I know Monkey Shoulder is a different. I know what the blends are with that. So I have no idea what they're blending here other than space size.
Well, it should be better because they got 8 blends and Monkey Shoulder only
No,
uses
it's 3, right? Kinnevie, Balvenie, and
All right, let's move on to the next
Glenfiddich.
one.
So interesting. So what's this tell you? There's a flavor profile here going on, but Copper Dog, we kind of debated whether we want to do this. I'm glad I picked it up.
Yeah,
This is a good blend.
I picked Copper Dog over Naked.
You did. That doesn't surprise me.
All right,
with you,
that's
though.
going to lose my.
Someone lost a little street cred.
Honestly, it doesn't surprise me with you because
That's okay, I don't have street
you're
cred.
not a super sherry head.
Andrew said I never had street cred. You guys don't know.
So I think
I
everybody
hang out with Dr. Scott.
That's
He,
right.
you know, anybody that hangs out with doctors.
All right. So
All right.
let's go round 2.
Mm.
The big heavyweight fight. And
This one's going to be fun. This is the
gonna
one that I'm
be
looking
really
forward to. I don't know. So let's talk about.
Yep.
Hang on a second. All the hot girls in bikinis came around with the cards,
Need
and
some
it's a new
wata.
fight. And here we go. The music's playing. Here comes our 2 fighters. Current champ is Arran 10, but the current challenger for tonight is Deanston 12. It is different packaging from the one that we actually reviewed.
What's
I didn't.
Deanston? Who's that?
Well, let me tell you a little bit about that. First of all, I didn't realize that they changed their packaging. The last time we reviewed one, the bottle looked a little bit, it had a different label and it was in a box. Now it comes in a can, whatever. Deanston, it has a soft spot in that guy's heart, right?
Yeah, he can't get rid of it.
I know what you're talking about.
If you guys can zoom into the bottles back here, you'll
Right
see.
here.
But anyway, so Deanston, yes, we have loved for quite a while. We've done some
love
videos.
Deanston.
We've taken some of the cheaper virgin oak Deanstons and just killed them on fishing. This is great.
Deanston
distillery.
makes good whiskey.
This particular 12-year-old is 46.3. Obviously 12 years old. I would assume it's not. Yeah, there you go. Unchill filtered, aged in ex-bourbon casks for 12 years. There you go. I will confess, I hadn't seen that really hard to read light blue color writing. And so I looked at this bottle for a few weeks on the shelf and didn't want to buy
You
it for this
debated.
category because I had read somewhere that it's also finished in virgin oak for a period of time. And I'm like, well, that's a finishing and it's not ex-bourbon. So did a small poll amongst the dummies and a couple of the patrons and said, do I disqualify it because it's been finished in a virgin oak, a fresh oak? And everybody's like, no, it's ex-bourbon. It is what it is. So here, that's why it's here. 46.3% ABV, 12 years old. Deanston. What's the price point?
It deserves to be in the fight for
price
sure.
Point from Total Wine. I don't know what the price point from Total Wine is.
I don't know.
I can tell you what the price point is that I paid
You
it.
go look that up.
It's $50, $47.
That's not bad.
I'll look it up.
So I've got the champion, which is Arran 10. This is a.
I got it. Oh, I lied. $66. $65.
Ooh, so that's
$65.99. Payless Liquors here.
So that's
in
probably
Indianapolis.
cheaper in Total Wine. Let me look it up. Keep going.
So I've got the Arran 10, 46% ABV, non-chill filter, no coloring.
46.
46%. It beat out
there you
the Glenmoe 10, which held for several weeks last week. So we'll see what happens.
And it's a beast.
What's the Arran 10 run?
Look at the spreads. Well, yeah, go here in Total Wine since you're here. But I mean,
So decent 12 is $70.
At Total Wine, I paid $65 for it, $66
Same
for it.
What are we doing?
There you go. Arran
65.
65. These
Same
are
price.
exact same price points. Now, I'll be honest with you, they're a little higher than some of the other ex-bourbons that have been in this. I mean, even the Glenmoe.
Yeah.
So there is something to be said about that. We're trying our best to keep them, price points similar, but these two are definitely neck and neck. The only difference here is 0.3% ABV on the
How about
Deanston. But
Let's hit this.
both
What'd you say it was?
it's 46.3 and this is 46.
Yeah, it's the same.
Oh,
So
basically-
virtually,
they're basically match for match here. Right?
yes.
So
Now,
looks a
obviously,
little color maybe here.
well, and that's due to what charring?
I mean,
That's due to barreling, right?
That's
That's not.
barrel.
Yeah. It's not always the darker one is sherry finished or what. No, there's that you can get this kind of
toasted
coloring.
or char.
I don't know if you
whatever
can see this
Right.
on the stream here camera, but
And
the
one's
Arran
12
10 is
years old,
definitely lighter.
And one's 10 years old. Yeah, there's
Maybe that's
those are the two biggest points. A 0.3% difference in ABV and 2 years difference in age.
10 and 12. Okay.
Let's start nosing.
So
Which one do
let's
we hit?
get into
Which
it.
one?
What's Molly doing here?
Spin your coin. Which is which?
So
Gold is heads.
Gold is heads.
heads it is. Molly's popping
Molly's
up.
popping up tonight.
Man, I got
Got
a
it for
cement
soul.
12 just to freshen the palate.
So I got this one's been. This is a full glass. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we pour these
At least now.
probably a little early, but not like you would typically pour a Glencairn. They're more full than a Glencairn because we're
A lot
passing them around.
fuller.
They're
Yeah, it's
going.
like full.
They're going. So
Bit
it
of
makes
water.
it does kind of a little difficult sometimes to get into our nose.
So I will tell you, this has a richer palate than we hit, or richer nose than we hit earlier.
What do you mean by that?
So, it's almost visceral. You nose it, and the nose just goes deeper into your body. It's weird. It's hard to describe, but you just nose it, and the flavor just kind of it goes deeper into your body than those noses of these other ones. Very similar nose, quite honestly,
Very similar nose to
To
what?
to those ones we had earlier. I mean,
Those blends.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's not as fruitful, not
malty?
as sweet.
Yeah, Michael Hasler, Cement 12 has been in the fights and did lose.
I don't remember what it was.
It's a while ago. You got
So
the
there's
spreadsheet
more creaminess on the nose here.
right there.
A little bit of oakness.
Glenmoe,
Yeah, it lost to Glenmoe.
Lasata. So keep
So-
going. You
So that's where pulling that coin off, I think, hinders. I would argue that coin should come off like when we bring the other ones out, because it changes so much in just the few minutes that we.
wow,
we
is
go
this
around.
tight?
The opposite-
It's so damn tight. You can't get anything in there.
Well, that's a point. That's the point of the coins, though, is to keep it as if you just.
I
poured it.
know.
Yeah, I get, okay.
I get
that's
you,
fair.
but I'm saying it's so tight. There's nothing to get on the nose.
I disagree with you on that. There's
What do you
caramels
got?
and vanillas on there. There's a little
Oh, I don't
Your
know.
sweetness.
nose is working tonight. Did you? What's wrong with you?
No, I'm clear as a
Did you
bell.
COVID again?
No, no, I'm clear. I got a citrus nose. All I got.
Actually, thank you for the reminder tonight. The you guys want to talk about this while I'm sniffing?
What's that? 2022 Online Scotch Whiskey Awards. So,
wow.
So if you have not voted in the Online Scotch Whiskey Awards yet, you have 9 days to do that. So
October 16th.
What is the website? OSA.
He's going there right now.
.org.
Pulling it up.
Boom. Here you guys go.
So osa.co.uk. So these are the Online Scotch Whiskey Awards. We helped put together the key whiskeys that are in the nominations for it. Now you get to vote. You go online, you register, you vote for your whiskey that you prefer. Go through they're on the website as Drew's going through it. You get your best value whiskey. There's lots of categories here to go through, plenty to choose from, all great whiskeys. There's not a bad whiskey in here. So with the ones you've tasted, and if there's categories that you don't have enough information for, you don't need to vote for them. You can vote for the ones that you have information on.
So the nominations were made by a poll from the whiskey community, the online whiskey community. We actually had a part to play. We submitted what we thought should be, and so several YouTube channels involved in this, tons of viewers, subscribers, patrons. That's what makes this particular competition different. It really is about all of us choosing it, as opposed to reading San Francisco winners or whatever that you really had nothing to do with, and you're like, oh, that's great, they picked this bottle I've never even heard of. This is a really cool thing. Roy, Aquavite, and Ralphie doing a solid job. Get out there and vote. Do it and just take part. I mean, it's 10 minutes. It's actually pretty fun, and if you're into whiskey, you'll enjoy voting.
10 days left.
Awards are announced on November 5th.
November 5th. So you got till
1, 2, 3, 4.
You have till October 16th to vote, though. So get on there now. If you haven't, if you're watching this on replay, you have until October 16th, 2022, to be able to vote.
Please go out there and do it, though. It's fun, and we'll see we'll all be there on November 5th to see the announcements. But
that's okay.
All right, so we're still on gold.
So yes, going back.
Yeah, that's
rewind.
Is it coming back around
on
now,
the nose? It's actually opened up quite a bit. Very oaky, but you're right, Andrew. It is kind of similar to that Copper Fox.
It's sweet,
malty.
It's maltiness. Well, honey. There's a sweet underlying note that is like a light caramel, not like those heavy duty like cooked to death caramels. It's real light and sweet.
Almost peanut brittle too on the nose.
Oh, leftover from last year's school drive.
I knew it. It's like I hooked them and
can't resist. If anybody tells me what movie that's from, you go and put it in the comments. We've talked about it before.
This is deja vu.
Buttery, creamy. Oh, that's tasty.
Buttery, creamy.
Yeah.
What else? How's it finish?
Oddly enough, it's a little hot on the palate.
So
peppery, spicy.
Yeah, it seems like alcohol hot to me.
So the initial nose on the second time around, there was definitely a lot more there. It was actually like a strawberry jam note that I was getting on it, and then I let it sit for a second, went back in, and it started getting a lot more ethereal. A lot more alcohol vapor was coming forward, so it was getting lighter. I was losing the notes because alcohol was just getting me. Did you taste it?
Yeah, it tastes like you melted butter over a oak barrel, and you get a little bit of that butteriness, a little bit of oak flavor coming out. That's tasty whiskey.
Keep talking, man. The visual is awesome.
Yeah,
I melted butter over a barrel, and I'm like, and it goes into a black pan that you put bacon in, and
it's not that good.
Salivating.
It doesn't have bacon with it, but it is. It's like that buttery creaminess that comes in, but just pulls a little bit of oak out of that barrel, and then you get a sip on it. It's still warm. It's like the whiskey it's like the butter that you use for like lobster, that melted butter, but a little bit oaky still.
The nose kind of reminds me of that.
Wow.
Am I right?
Andrew just nailed one.
I mean,
he pointed to the left field, and he's like, think. He just walked around the bases.
Hands
So,
up.
Time for dram. No, great guesses. It's not. It's a Goldie Hawn movie. That's a little hint.
Overboard.
No, not Overboard. It's a football movie.
Oh, that's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Are we going on a block? You gonna put water on that?
No, I'm not
Is there
ready to
any
go.
ready
I'm not ready to
I
do
did that
it
again
black
the
yet.
first
I
time.
want to go one more round on this to see
Wow,
if your butter lobster oak holds up.
It is
because-
buttery, but it has a
Yes.
almost like the finish is like you cook some meat and you've got you're trying to kind of like scrape up the meat and what do you call that?
I don't know, but we all want lobster, Gregor.
So this
It's
is
almost
not a shared whiskey.
charring, kind of like a gravy. I don't know what it is.
Like pan.
We know
Oh,
you're
glazing the
a roux.
A
Thank you.
roux.
Yeah.
Yes, I could
Okay,
see
yeah.
that.
That's what I was thinking.
This is not a shared whiskey. It's not peated.
You burn it a little bit. Yeah.
And you put a little bit of wine in or whatever. It's kind of like a roux finish.
And I think that's exactly right. So it's kind of that overcooked butter, a flour.
Like you're making a gravy or
such a
something.
good-
Yeah, roux. Yeah.
If you ever tasted a roux, man, that's pretty close. A little bit of maltiness on the finish. That's it. Oh, he's thinking. Uh-oh.
Glasses out.
That's for Tom.
Oh,
He's a dork.
Wildcats.
I gotta be out. Someone get it?
mm-hmm.
Teddy went. Yeah. Teddy and Dee. Yeah, it's Wildcats.
Wildcat.
She's interviewing for the job in the principal's office. He opens up the locker and
That-
says, "Would you like some peanut brittle?"
That is a tasty dram.
um,
The second sip was better than the first one.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
that's
Honey,
butter.
cream,
Gold's good.
Gold is a great whiskey.
It's a good whiskey. It's
semi-sweet.
what you want in a scotch. It's what you want in a non-finished shot. In other words, there's no wild, crazy finish. It's just straight down the middle, ex-bourbon.
That's very good.
This is whiskey that has been matured in ex-bourbon barrels, and this is what it's supposed to taste like. That's
like that to me is ex-bourbon right there.
Boom.
The oaky.
right.
It's great.
Yep, that's the definition of that profile of this category.
Dude, this nose is ex-bourbon too.
Shit.
I'm telling you, these are going to be good battles.
Oh
I know
my
these
gosh,
two are.
this is better as I knows it.
Really?
There's lots of oakiness on the nose on this, but not
Wow,
overpowered.
Gregor's
but,
making a prediction.
but
going
not
up top.
but not like spent oak. It's fresh
That's
bourbon finished oak. It's not like new oak. It's not that virgin oak, and it's not spent oak.
Ooh.
It's just enough to add the flavor to the butteriness. And not butter. This one isn't as buttery as the other one.
a hard.
But it's a little bit sweeter, a little more Speyside influence. I think a little more sweetness in there. But the oak is definitely balanced in the nose. I can't wait till it comes around again, because I think it'll be more mature on his nose.
So what do you?
So this one, hang on, Drew. This one, it's got a woodiness to it that's almost like a sawdust woodiness. That's a sweetness, almost buttery, but there's something I can't put my finger on, and it's good. I can't give you the word that I know. It's slipping my mind a little bit. This is different than that.
No, totally.
Totally different. But damn it, if
Wait a
you
minute.
don't want it.
It's really that different? Totally different?
The nose
No,
is
it's not totally different. I think this has a little more wood influence. It's a little more sweet than the other
It can't be totally. There's no way that's
this
totally
is different, man.
one. So this is where people that have drunk a little bit of scotch kind of differ on. This is totally.
So
Mark, you
it's,
got
like,
wood.
it's like we're drinking Jack Daniels. It smells totally different.
that's pretty good. That's pretty
This is
good,
not-
man.
It's not Jack Daniels. Totally different. It's
No, yeah,
It's a bourbon
we're
cask
we're
different.
splitting hairs here, right?
Yeah,
Obviously,
definitely.
this is ex-bourbon category, but and so
Nose is better than that gold.
oh,
it's tough. That's
Yeah.
tough. Nose is pretty.
if you like sweetness, it's a little sweeter. Yeah.
It's not there, but almost black licorice on those.
Oh,
Let it come back around one more time.
Yeah, I can't wait. We got
Are we tasting it?
Strong like
we're running out of
bull.
time
Are we
too.
tasting or no?
We got plenty of
5
time.
minutes left, so
It's gonna have to go into overtime, man. Extra rounds.
we will go extra rounds.
Ooh.
Ooh, graham crackers and Teddy Grahams. Oh, shit.
Oh, that is different, boys. That is a different dram.
You drank it?
I did.
He did. He tasted it.
Dang, he just dove in the freaking deep end.
What am I getting? Gosh,
This
I'm
is
just
this is
lost for
sweetness
words.
combined with wood, whereas that was butter combined with wood.
It feels almost sherry influenced. Like it's got more fruit on compared to the gold.
Mm-hmm.
Almost a hint of chocolate.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
Yeah, Michael said Jack Daniel's apple versus Jameson orange. I'm getting orange chocolate on this. You know, like those orange chocolates you get at Christmas. You bust them open.
You get orange. I don't get orange. You get orange.
Oh yeah, on the palate. Mm.
I get
Boy, that's gonna be
so
a hard
did
one.
you say you said a sherry note? No, it's not a sherry note like a sherry finished wine or scotch. It's almost like a driedness, like it was super dried out, but at some point in time, it was
Like
in
some
there.
dried tomatoes or something.
No,
Or-
not some dried
like
tomato.
a dried orange.
You want it to be, don't you?
Well, because it's there.
Let's go.
I do get that. I do get that sawdust note though.
Sawdust. It's sawdust.
I don't get any.
No, it's like a perfectly balanced ex-bourbon cask.
perfectly.
Yeah.
Really?
You know what I'm saying.
So, if I'm being honest, the palate had a lot of juicy fruit note up front and
Maybe some orange.
maybe some orange. I will say this: the initial palate was definitely a slam of flavors. It was a high. It was a
No, go ahead.
explosion of flavors. The gold was really good, but it wasn't. This one was really good with a pop, right? It was like, what the hell? So if I'm going halftime scores here, guys,
Ooh, that's tough. It's a push.
I think there's a pretty good difference here between. the
I'm
two.
saying like I'm gonna. Oh man, I
I
don't know. I'm
So
saying
wait, which nose did you prefer? So one was, well, which nose did you prefer? Let's break it down a little smaller, make it easier to analyze. Don't talk about palate yet.
I know. So I'm thinking about that, Andrew, and it's tough because honestly, if I'm being realistic, if
Texas
I'm being-
Scotch in the room? What?
You guys are.
I can't make it up. I'm serious. I hate to say this, but I think the coin toss is affecting this one. I prefer the second one
Okay.
over the first one. And I don't know if that's just because that's the most recent. I liked them both,
That's gonna be
but
tough.
the second one is sticking out in my mind so much I can't remember the first one as much. I've been drinking tonight, kids.
So
I-
so let's try something. For this round, let's take them both and we'll nose them both and put like you have both
Compare them right
and
together.
don't taste them.
Yeah.
But let's compare the noses side by
All right.
side.
Go for it.
Palate's gonna be a little more tricky.
So,
Maybe you want to drink water. between them.
could you pick a winner if we had to call it halftime? Which glass you going
10-9,
for?
10-9 gold.
No, it's a push.
Whoa, Drew's just like
So
It's not that hard.
You like the butter.
that's the
Yeah,
way I
so
felt
it's
on the
like-
blends. Oh man.
So it comes down to that. Do you like butter or do you like sweetness?
I like them both.
So-
Sweet, juicy fruit and a hint of. There's more fruit in black than there is gold for sure. Gold is
There's-
more of that standard
So-
ex-bourbon honeycomb to me.
Yeah.
And
So
oaky.
black in on my nose right now is getting that sweet and
This is
more
tough.
oak, whereas the gold has butter and a little bit of oak. So what do you prefer in a whiskey? I don't know right now.
That's a good call, honestly, because they're closer battles. I feel like Gregor says the ex-bourbon category has closer fights.
They're
Debates.
tight, man.
I
But they're both beautiful whiskeys.
Okay.
Obviously, the way we're struggling with it, both
okay,
of
so
these are worth.
on the nose. The edge goes to black to me.
Oh, so you like the sweetness?
I mean,
you go
I'm
to
not.
black.
I can't. Don't ask me to go.
Not
I
like
want.
gold.
I wanted the black more than the gold.
He's
tonight.
gold.
I'm gold.
Oh man, I don't know. So I went sweet
Just
on
more
the
refined.
first round. I would tend to agree with you that gold seems more refined. It seems older, more mature. But
Don't give me that refined crap. Which one did you
did
want
you taste
more?
them? You
I
tasted
I
gold.
tasted that one.
See them.
That's solid.
No one's saying either one of them aren't solid, dude. This is a tough battle.
Mm.
So
Well, the way
Brian, we have a process to bring a
Wow.
fight back, a fighter back. It's coming into play here in the next couple of weeks.
I cannot believe
That is a
how
good
much.
fucking whiskey. Oh, sorry.
I haven't tasted this with. I haven't
No,
tasted
Just
either.
go. Put that down.
The
Okay.
black has so much more sherry molasses influence in it than gold does. They're that different. I would not expect that. I honestly don't know which is which at this point. I have no idea. But I'm gonna call it right now. I'm gonna say gold is my winner because I feel like it's just hitting my ex-bourbon wheelhouse of what I'm looking for in a golden oaky honey ex-bourbon. I feel like the black is great, but it's almost a little too fruity or something going on with it that it's good, but it doesn't fit that category for me. So I'm going gold. I'm calling it right now.
Wow.
So this is a fight. They're both great whiskeys, both willing to
What you
have
go
on my
next?
bar.
Put them on the spot.
Well, I have to go with gold on this one as well because it is a refined bourbon whiskey that has that creaminess. It has a enough barrel influence, but I would argue that the I don't know which man, I don't know where to go with this. So the black glass has more sweetness. So with that, you're talking more of the distillate character into it, whereas the green glass has great bourbon barrel influence,
The gold.
but it's a more. I'm sorry, what did I say?
You see a green, the gold glass.
The gold glass has a more subtle distillate character, but it's nice.
More
So
refined.
Yeah, it is more refined.
In the ex-bourbon category, you're saying gold is the winner.
Well, the thing is with the sweetness, you won't get that in a sherry. You won't get that in a peated. You will only get that in an ex-bourbon cask.
So gold?
I'm going with gold, but the sweetness of 12 of the gold of the black
Doesn't matter then.
Well,
It doesn't matter.
Unfortunately,
I'm
no,
curious what
but-
you're going to say.
what are you going to say?
I'm going to say
It's
black
tough.
because you're holding it.
He's
No,
carrying the
it's
black.
tough. It's tough.
He's
I'm
holding
gonna
the
say
black.
gold. I'm gonna say gold.
Oh, okay.
I love this glass. The black glass is phenomenal. Whatever one it is, it's delicious. But I've got to boil this down to the category and my expectation in the category. In other words, Mark's expectation of ex-bourbon, which one hits the mark closer to them, right? I would reach for either one of these glasses,
Yep.
and I'd drink either one of them. In this category, in this fight, I've got to give the nod to gold.
So you
and I feel bad for black.
Yeah, I did too.
I do.
All right. So we got to call this winner. So gold is what? Blue?
Yep. And black is
Arran.
red.
So which one do we do first?
I don't know. Black. So the gold is
Champ.
the blue. So which one's blue?
There.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Why is that red?
So Arran 10, unanimous. I think this is way closer than unanimous says. My card is like 10-9-5 across the board. They fought very well together. Deanston 12 is a lot better than
Are you feeling bad now that you let
You-
Deanston
you-
go down?
you shot your Deanston in the foot, didn't you?
Dude, that
I
Arran
love the
10.
Deanston. It's good, but
But you picked Arran, so I'll take Deanston
Arran-
12 home.
this is a great freaking model.
I mean, I guess I'll take the
Sorry,
Deanston home.
sorry for running late, and it's what happens when you drink whiskey really quick. But it was a fun night.
Wow.
So who's the champs? So we got
Arran 10 and Naked Malt.
Naked.
Two good fights tonight, guys. Sorry it went a little long. That last fight was tough. We had a couple good super chats. Thank you to those, Tom, Dina. Who else am I forgetting here? But nevertheless, good time. We got more fights coming up next week. We've got a couple more to get through.
It's getting real close, almost over. So
We do have a patron show that we need to jump to get to because we want to talk to our patrons about a couple of things that we got coming up.
ideas.
So if
Become
you're
a
not
patron,
a
dude.
patron, You're missing out on
You get the end.
good
if you're a
opportunities
patron,
and good conversations.
On that note, we'll see you guys next week for another King on the Hill.
Thank you.
Until
for tuning in.
then,
Cheers.
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 3, 2, 1.